Hi there, welcome again. This video is called Using Technology in the Classroom. Many of us use a lot of technology. Many of us don't really use any at all. It can really help to enhance you as a teacher, and you can start very, very slow and just dip your toe in if you like. And as it says here, some teachers are very used to using technology and others are old school. Just use their voice and chalk. I was one of those. I just was literally my voice and chalk on a chalkboard is all I used for quite a while. But even if technology is not your strength, it's really not too difficult to adopt one or two new technical elements to your approach and allow yourself to evolve. So we're just going to list several of them in case you haven't encountered some of them. Some of them are traditional, some of them are new and cutting edge and pretty amazing, and give a very brief description. First, Remind is an app that allows teachers to text students individually or as an entire class to remind them of upcoming tests and assignments. It's quick and easy. There is a character limit, kind of like Twitter, so it's only for short messages. I've used it, and it's very easy for them to put themselves on this list for you, and it goes to their cell phone, which is much better way to contact them usually than email. Kahoot I really love. Rather than struggling to keep students off their cell phone, you get Kahoot and you incorporate cell phone use into the lesson plan every day. So with this app and this program, as it says here, the teacher creates online quizzes or surveys. You create them from scratch, and then students log into the site with their cell phones and they select answers on their phones to the questions that appear, and they get, as you're using this app, you're projecting it onto the screen, the classroom collective screen that everyone is looking at, and the students' responses are instantly tabulated and displayed on the big screen, and students are immediately enraptured because they see, oh, 47% of the class voted to have pizza today, or whatever you want to ask, or 47% think that whales are mammals. So they'll love it, and so will you. And after you use Kahoot, you will be the talk of the school. People will ask you, how did you do this? What is this? Also, students can use Kahoot to create their own quizzes or surveys in order to gather data or create graphs for their own assignments, if that incorporates well into your lessons. It's super useful. There's another one called Plickers with a P, which is similar to Kahoot. The next one is called Class Dojo, and this creates a virtual classroom where students choose an avatar to represent themselves, and they get awarded or lose points based on what they do in real life in the classroom. So teachers can take role using Class Dojo and a lot of other tasks. Students love it. They get wrapped up in it. It's got a game-ish quality to the interface, and it's a great idea. Another one is called Venngage. This site has countless infographics and various ways to present and graph information and data. So students can use it to make presentations or even make essays look more engaging or professional. Another site that's somewhat similar is called Tableau, T-A-B-L-E-A-U, which I've used, mostly to represent statistics graphically. Very, very user-friendly. Next, Trello. And very simply, this site helps students to collaborate on assignments, to multitask, to plan projects, and to apportion their work. It's a good one for work management sort of training. Also, Turnitin.com, you've probably heard of this. So students can be directed by their teacher to turn in written assignments to this site, and then their papers are scanned for any previously published content, and the results are sent to you as the teacher, and any copied material, any copywritten material is clearly highlighted. So this allows you to see who's creating original work, and also it creates a teachable moment where you can teach students the basics about borrowing ideas, paraphrasing, direct quoting, and how to cite those different modes of expression. Another one is Prezi. It's kind of the new, you've probably heard of it, it's sort of the new presentation software that goes beyond PowerPoint, and various others. I've used it quite a bit. It's pretty dazzling to the eye. So if you feel like taking it up a notch and having some impressive presentations for a certain class or an interview, Prezi is definitely the way to go. It's extremely easy to use. The learning curve is about 15 minutes, and it incorporates movement and flow into presentations, not just slide after slide after slide, in a very engaging and attention capturing way. I really recommend it. PowerPoint is old school. I'm sure you've certainly seen it and probably used it. It comes with standard Microsoft Office software, very easy to learn how to use. It's like an old-fashioned slideshow, but it's digital, so you can, of course, type on the slides and insert photos or charts or graphs with the click of a button. If you've never used PowerPoint, you may be surprised how easy it is to use, and you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. One of the best parts about it is that you don't have to physically write anything on the board while you're giving your lesson, unless you want to, of course. When I switched from writing and drawing my lessons on the board to using PowerPoint about 10 years ago, 2007, I actually noticed that I was less physically tired from having to write so vigorously on the board all day long. So PowerPoint is a good way to go, and I know a lot of present-day teachers don't use it, and you don't have to use it for every lesson or lecture, but try it and you might be surprised at its utility. Next is Google Earth. I'm a geography teacher, so obviously I'll use this from time to time, but it's good for a lot of different classes. You've no doubt seen this or used it yourself before in some way. It's essentially a compilation of high-resolution satellite images of the Earth on relatively cloud-free days. You can just casually scroll around the planet and zoom in and out on anything that you want to. Deforestation in the Amazon, to Times Square in New York City, to the Great Wall of China. And these are real photographs. So it's real information. It's pretty amazing, and it's updated fairly regularly. YouTube, obviously you've heard of YouTube. It's probably part of your everyday life already, but it's also excellent, for finding short, effective instructional videos and visual displays about virtually anything. As I've said before, these short videos are really excellent to insert into your lessons and lectures as little breaks and brain refreshers. We called them short breaks and long breaks in another video. Google Docs, it's probably most useful for grade spreadsheets. In the streamlining grading video, we talk exactly about how to do it. And you can also use it for creating documents that can be shared and edited by several people at once, like students in group projects, and for a lot of other potential uses. It's also stored on a cloud automatically, so you don't have to worry about saving. Google Docs are excellent. I keep all my grades there. Learnist, you may have heard about this. It's a phone app that allows the user to create a digital location where you can post video, images, reading materials for students to review and interact with. It's also easily done on a learning platform like Moodle or Canvas. So that's what we'll talk about next is Moodle or Canvas. These are called Learning Management Systems, LMS. They're super popular at many levels of education. I've used them both. They're both extremely helpful. I've used them teaching online, but also just to have a digital site for my classes. If your campus offers either one of these, it can really be extremely empowering for students if you create a Moodle or Canvas homepage for each of your classes, because on that homepage, you can provide digital resources. So documents, instructions, syllabi, readings, PowerPoint slides, URL links, upcoming assignment reminders, lots of things. So this empowers them and also frees you up to not have to answer the same questions or send emails to students who don't have the necessary class materials. Next is Folio. And you can find that at foliowebsites.com. It's a website where photos and images can be stored, viewed, and accessed. Mostly this is for photographers. They store a lot of images here. One that I mentioned in another video is crosswordhobbyist.com. This one's excellent. I used to make my own crossword puzzles when I taught high school Spanish. Every Thursday was crossword puzzle day. And I made them myself, but with this website, it's 100 times easier. It's so quick, it's amazing. You can make one, just come up with some terms from your class that are related to your lesson, punch them in, and it just cranks it out in half a second. So these can be an excellent back pocket exercise, which we talk about in other videos, either for unexpected or planned downtime activities. You can make all of the clues and words, as I said, match your lesson of the day. So it's fantastic. Okay, that's a sort of a quick run through of some really useful technologies. I highly recommend dabbling in a few. If you haven't, let's do a quick study guide. What types of technology do you use in your classroom? What apps, presentation software have you tried? Which worked well for you? What have you not tried yet that does sound interesting? Choose a time when you'll try out or incorporate one of these new technologies into your lessons. Pick a lesson where you have the space to do that. Try them out and report back to your online support group about how your students responded, and other people can learn from your experience. Okay, thank you so much for listening in, and I hope you enjoyed this video.